Are you ready? Cheetah Energy, RBL 2026. Playoff is back. Make some noise. 4 teams, 1 trophy.
Let's go Patriots, baby.
We got Patriots basketball. We got RSSB Tigers basketball. We got Rare basketball. We got APR basketball.
Let's go Tigers! Go Patriots, baby.
Before the arena lights shine, before the crowds fill the stands, it begins with a dream. A kid who watches, a coach who believes, A player who inspires.
Donate play with Adonis to profiler.
A practice becomes a passion. A player becomes an inspiration. And a fan begins to dream. Rides can wait. Meetings can wait. Because moments like these don't. Basketball isn't just played inside an arena. It lives on dusty courts, in crowded streets, in homes gathered around the screen. It's in every neighborhood, bringing strangers together, turning quiet moments into unforgettable ones. Every game, every story, every fan, across nations, only on Okapi.
We gotta be back in again on Sunday.
Before the arena lights shine, before the crowds fill the stands, it begins with a dream. A kid who watches, a coach who believes, a player who inspires.
Donate play with Adonis to profiler.
A practice becomes a passion, a player becomes an inspiration, and a fan begins to dream. Rides can wait, meetings can wait, because moments like these don't. Basketball isn't just played inside an arena. It lives on dusty courts, in crowded streets, in homes gathered around the screen. It's in every neighborhood, bringing strangers together, turning quiet moments into unforgettable ones. Every game, every story, every fan, across nations, only on Okapi. Before the arena lights shine, before the crowds fill the stands, it begins with a dream. A kid who watches, a coach who believes, a player who inspires.
Donate play with Adonis to profiler.
A practice becomes a passion, a player becomes an inspiration, and a fan begins to dream. Rides can wait, meetings can wait, because moments like these don't. Basketball isn't just played inside an arena. It lives on dusty courts, in crowded streets, in homes gathered around the screen. It's in every neighborhood, bringing strangers together, turning quiet moments into unforgettable ones. Every game, every story, every fan, across nations, only on Okapi. It begins with a dream. A kid who watches, a coach who watches, a coach who believes, a player who inspires.
Donate play with Adonis to profiler.
A practice becomes a passion, a player becomes an inspiration, and a fan begins to dream. Rides can wait, meetings can wait, because moments like these don't. Basketball isn't just played inside an arena. It lives on dusty courts, in crowded streets, in homes gathered around the screen. It's in every neighborhood, bringing strangers together, turning quiet moments into unforgettable ones. Every game, every story, every fan, across nations, only on Okapi.
Craig Randall is the man on your screens right about now. He was the big differentiator, that perimeter shooting that he had. 8 for 19 from 3 points, only scoring 3 3-pointers in game 1, but now scoring, going on to score 8 of them in game 2. The Basketball Africa League MVP came to the party in game 2. You are still on Okapi Sports Network. You can follow us across all these social media platform. Billy Kamanzi, Nicole, we see you and thank you for tuning in. Keep those comments coming. It's Arnold and Christine. Christine, welcome back from game 1.
Hi Arnold, how are you doing? Are you excited for this game?
Oof, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be but there's so many questions to ask, right? Some of those questions. Tigers played the same way they played game 1. They dominated the paint, 42-32 shooting. But they seem to struggle to create any form of perimeter shooting outside Antino Jackson and Zuzua. So the others, what we call the others, the likes of Paul Bizimana, the likes of Mutabazi, the likes of Shaka Olivier, who gave them very strong minutes in game 1, need to come to the party. What do we expect from APR?
I think we expect to see very much what they did in the first game, right? So they made more 3 points with 12, while the Tigers only made 7. Tigers did actually lead on rebounding, but not by too much. They made 52 compared to their 60 in game 1. Offensive rebounds also, Nate Roberts really dominated on that and had 18 rebounds. Well, the team had 18 rebounds while APR only had 15. Tigers made more second chance points with 19 to APR's 11. But the assist, Nore Habimana, came clutch in game 2 and led APR's 22 assists while Tigers only got 16. Fast break points, that's definitely where we saw a lot of movement. APR capitalized on that, made 27 to Tigers 21. And Tigers messed up with having more turnovers. They let go 19 times, while APR had 14.
And Christian, we talked about Nori Habimana's plus-minus minutes in game 1, right? Him and Mukama Victor being the better 2 players in that game 1 for APR Basketball Club, and how Coach James May needed to keep him on the court a lot more. He did that, kept him on the court a lot more in game 2, and that big ball lineup that Coach Mwinuka failed to match up against. Still question marks on how do you fail to get an inbound pass on? Quickly looking at Randall, what do the numbers say?
Definitely had a better night. I mean, he scored high in game 1, but he scored even higher in game 2, making 31 points. He had 4 assists. Actually, one of the very interesting things, right, is APR as a team scored exactly the same in both games, right? But the difference was in how Randall was scoring. Nore Habimana, he was moving the ball to him, versus in the first game, Randall was just trying to charge and take the shot. Much more riskier, much more pressure, and you see it on the field goals, right? He made 10 of 23 with 3 points being 8 of 19, while in game 1 he had 30-something%?
He had about 23% shooting from 3 in game 1, where he struggled. He shot 3 for about 17. There, 3 for 15 in game 1, right?
Well, he made 8 of 19.
Well, he made 8 of 19.
That's 24 points.
Yes, and that's a differential of about 20%, right? And that's all they needed to get over. But I think there are more question marks in regards to how much offense Tigers Basketball Club can create. This man, Mohamed Diane, the Senegalese international, 13 points, 14 rebounds. Funny enough, when it came down to the numbers, Nate Roberts had 10 rebounds, offensive rebounds.
I agree, yeah.
20 total rebounds, and the Tigers created more second chance points. But Mohamed Diane, I think, kept them in the game longer, because In game one, we noticed the Tigers went out into a big lead going into the final minutes of the fourth quarter. That was the advantage. When the game became tighter and the palms became stretchier, in game two, APR had the experience of the likes of Adonis Fila to get them over that edge, and Tigers failing to execute that play in those last minutes.
Yeah, and I mean Nate Roberts. We said we disagreed, but really I think we agreed just to varying degrees. Had a pretty good game, right? Even though he only made 11 points, he had 20
Welcome
rebounds.
to the Net Robots party, Christine.
I've always been here. His rebounds were split 10-10 offensive versus defense, right? He
Yep.
stole 2 balls. Like,
Yep.
he actually had a pretty good night. But I think the problem was Tyler Bay. Because
Yes.
Nate had a great night.
Yes.
Even though Tigers
Yes.
lost,
Yes.
he had a great night. He did what he needed to be doing.
Do you know why the numbers don't tell the whole story? Because still Tigers dominated in paint points in game one, 42 to 32 points, and that's a 10 points differential, right? Where Tigers failed to get was to get any extra points from the likes of Ishimwe, Paul Bizimana, Shaka Olivier, the players that you call the others, right? Your star players are still giving you what they normally give you, apart from Tyler Bay. Zuzua gave you what he normally gives you, and Tilo Jackson gives it. And that brings me to the other question, right? That brings me to the next question. Does Antino Jackson, is he a facilitator today first, or a shooter and a scorer first? Which Antino Jackson do you want?
I think the facilitator. I mean, Zuzua mentioned it in the press conference where he said, the team just wasn't as physical as they were in the first game. And I think that's what it came down to, right? You could see the drive, the hunger in, APR really came out and said, we've watched the film. We think we know how to stop you. Taylor Bay being contained was one of the biggest changes we saw in game 2. And while, Tigers, again, it wasn't a huge loss, right? It's just by 3 points. But these teams, you never know which way it's going to go. In the regular season, they both won 1 game each. In the playoffs, they both won 1 game each. Let's see what's going to happen in game 3.
Look, Arnold Mosea, Sophia Sees, Sufa, Alexander Dushimana are your officials for this game, where we had also so many question marks coming in from so many media houses regarding the quality of officiating in that game 2. All eyes will be on this gentleman. But whoa, are you feeling the tension, eh?
Who would not be feeling the tension after the last game that we just had? After how tight both game 2s were. We're seeing, by the way, fun fact, when I was looking at the stats for the regular season, when Tigers win, it actually generally beats APR by a bigger margin. Whereas when APR wins, they only ever win by 2 or 3.
Because you don't go into those last minutes in APR because the players have been there, done that, right? You need to beat them early on in the game, get into the last 3-4 minutes with a big points differential.
It's on the floor. That's a very interesting decision to start.
Heve on the floor for Muchamaji, but I think that goes down into Steve Hagominwari not recovering from that hamstring injury.
Oh no.
Yes. And because we saw Steve Hagominwari guarding Craig Randall early on in that game just to keep him out of rhythm. What is Heve a master of?
Changing the rhythm.
He's the D&D defensive player. He does only one thing on the court: play defense.
Another player I'd actually watch out for this game. He wasn't really. Yes, he's had a couple of moments where he does some very interesting dunks, but Leonard Terfaro Jr. is not playing at his peak in this playoff.
No. Tigers win the tip-off. Antino Jackson finds Nate Roberts in the pick and roll early on. Welcome to my house, Nate Roberts. Says Tigers basketball 2 up.
Arnold, if you watch the warm-ups, right?
Yep.
Tigers look more comfortable. They were having fun on the floor.
It was a dunking showboating that was going out there. Craig Randall guarded by Harvey. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Gets the screen from Mohamed Diane. The double team comes early. Axel Boyo, he shoots at 3. Letting the clock. Bay. Tigers are running. Hervey, he's not going to give you much offense. Zuzua. Guarded by Axel Boyo. Zuzua Again, they're going into that pick and roll early on. Hervey hesitates. He doesn't have the license to shoot it. Antino Jackson, easy two, can't hit the floater. Craig Randall, Hervey. Craig Randall, some English on it. He can't speak it in that moment. Foul on Tigers. Sorry, foul on APR. Kickball? Kickball. Cool. Thank you, Kristen.
There was so much commotion on there. I'm not surprised.
You're watching Game 2 of the Rwanda Basketball League of today. It's I'm just looking at Mignon, my colleague right here, so that's why I had a loss for words. She did a great job in the women's semi-finals. Again, they're looking for Bay early on. The Tigers guards. Foul on Antino Jackson. Mohamed Diane shooting two. You know the name of the Rev, but just call that foul. His name is Arnold.
Were you planning to make that joke?
No, it just happened to me. I didn't know who the opinions were going to be for today. Mohamed Diane hits his first Senegalese international.
And that's APR's first point in this game.
APR's first point. 8:34 on the clock. Makes both of them. Antino Jackson, got it by Tiafale Leonard. They are going into a half-court defense because they know that. Ooh, wow. You know, for all that Hervé gives you defensively, he gives you nothing offensively. So it's a 4-on-5. And that's where they can, APR, we can see comfortably sending out two men to Antino Jackson before he crosses the halfway line.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to watch that.
Some fast layup there coming in from Netro, but he is feeling himself. They are locked in. You can feel the bounce. Nore Habimana with the rock. Nore Habimana, top of the key, finds Axel Poyo. He can shoot that three. Poyo got it by Zizua. Tiafale Leonard, he goes for it. No. Fouled by Nate Roberts. And he's speaking to him.
Nate's ignoring him though.
Yeah, he's telling him you're getting into foul trouble, bro. You're getting into foul trouble, bro. And I think that's the plan. Get the big men of the Tigers off that court early.
That would be a good strategy, to be honest. I mean, if they could get Roberts out, make sure that Bay doesn't get to his 39 points aggression of game one, then APR would definitely have a more comfortable path to winning this game.
True. But Christian, what we are saying early on, right? 2 minutes into the first quarter of this game, is APR are struggling to generate offense. They're living by the free throw line. Yeah. Tigers are getting offense so easily. And again, you can see that full press coming in early. Antino Jackson for 3. Misses. Nore Habimana collects. Nore guarded by Harvey. Nore Habimana ups the press. Tiafale Leonard. He has been struggling for 3. Money downtown. And it's game on, and Greg Randall seems to love that because he knows if Tiafale Leonard can get into his groove, then his offensive work is much easier. Zizua finds Bay. Bay guarded by Axel Mpoye. Axel Mpoye tries to put his hand in the cookie jar. Zizua. The switch is on. Up against Axel Mpoye. Zizua. Step back 3. That side 3. He can shoot it. Can't buy. Nore Habimana. Second rebound of the game. Finds Craig Randall. Craig Randall on the wing. Being guarded by Antino Jackson. That's a mismatch for Antino Jackson. Mohamed Diane in and out. Zizua in transition. Stolen by Axel Mpoyo. Axel Mpoyo. Leonard Jr. Craig Randall. Finds Tiafale Leonard. Oh! alley oop. Can't find it. Trying to calm down this pressure. Antino Jackson doing the right thing. Bay doesn't seem to buy. Off his foot. APR ball. Referee Sophia all the way from Egypt. Nore Habimana brings it up the court. 3 points the difference right about now. APR Basketball Club leading. So to our viewers watching us out there, there seems to be a small challenge there in the graphics. the scoreline is the other way around. APR Basketball Club with serve. Antonio Jackson in, out. Antonio Jackson finds Bay. Bay marked by 2. Makes the adjustment. 1 point to difference. Jeffale Leonard out in transition, gets his own rebound, goes up again. Nets Roberts' second foul, and we're still in the first quarter.
Both fouls were on Cheetah.
Yep. And Jeffale is feeling it.
I think they need to shoot who's third in Cheetah.
I expect Shaka Olivier to get a lot more minutes or to come on early on. I think Coach Munuka needs to look at that because you need Ned Roberts in the last minutes of this game. And rightfully, up. There comes the switch, fast substitution. Shaka Olivier on. 1 point the difference. Tiafale shooting 2. Next the first one. Just instead of listening, how was it? This thing is scary, man. Makes both of them. Antonio Jackson in and out. Again, you can see they want that ball out of his hands early on. He has walked to heaven, according to referee Sifa. And Mama Axel Boyo saying, yep, we saw that.
Is it heaven when he lost the ball?
Wow, he's still walking. Captain Antonio Jackson. Side ball. Nore Habimana, easy layup there. Something is not giving defensively for Tigers Basketball Club. APR out through the races. 11-6, 5 points the difference. Antonio Jackson shooting 3. He can't buy a basket today. Heve collects the rebound. Zuzua. He plays at his own pace. Still, Tigers can't buy a basket.
4 minutes into the game. I think it's very interesting the approach that they're doing a really good job of making sure they're doing a bit of a gap if they allow Tigers to go ahead and also not be anywhere near them. APR would be in a lot of trouble. I mean, 5 points, we talk about this all the time. They only won the game by 3 points. 5 is not impossible, but it's that rhythm, right? If Tigers gets into rhythm, that level that you see here, right? Where it's just flowing, then they'll be dangerous.
I think APR are playing a very good game plan. They're getting that ball out of Antonio Jackson's hands early on. And what that is doing to him is he is forced to take long shots, right? And he can get into his groove of getting it also those assists. So the game plan is very simple for APR Basketball Club. Get that ball out of Antonio Jackson's hands. We can live with whatever. Now, if you have that ball out of Antonio Jackson's hands and you already have Hervé, who's not giving you any form of offense, then you have 3 players to contend with at the end of the day defensively, which is easier to mark for APR Basketball Club.
Yeah, and I think APR has also made an adjustment in terms of not necessarily rushing to give Randall the ball. You see in these first 4 minutes, right? He's not even on the scoreboard yet. The leading scorer is currently Tiafale Leonard Jr. with 7 of the 11 points that
he hasn't taken a shot yet. And we are 4 minutes into the game. That is unlike Randall, right?
It is.
Why do you sound like a boy dude? That's interesting.
No, I'm just thinking about it. I'm wondering what he's going to do, right?
Yep. Nori Habimana, top of the key. Finds Shema Osborne. Craig Randall, we just talked about him not shooting. He takes his first shot, 4 for 1. Today he decided to rock the AJ Wilsons. He's good boy. For people who want to, yeah, for the sneakerheads out there, Antonio Jackson got it by Nori, finds Axel Boyo, finds Shaka Olivier, Zuzua, back to the conductor, Antonio Jackson. Jackson tries to get it in between, pick ball, Nori Habimana, shot clock reset to 14. 4:51 to play. 5 points the difference. APR Basketball Club leading. All square this series. Antonio Jackson between the legs. Check, fake. Got it, money. No, can't hit. Oh, struggle. Second chance point. Zuzua looks for. An ankle was lost somewhere there, but it came back. Trey Bay takes 3. Hit. Money. All the way from downtown. 2 points the difference. Mana finds Osborne. You don't want to be in that highlight reel. Kefale Leonard goes for 3 early. Can't hit. Zuzua collects the rebound. Zuzua guarded by Axel Poyo. Finds his own timing. Zuzua, Sam English. Finding the Red Sea. The Indian Ocean. Who says that Moses? Peace, please.
How do you come up with these things?
You don't remember how Moses splits?
I know the story.
Greg Randall tries to find Shema Osborne. Can't find him. Zuzua brings it up the court. Ball handling duty. Zuzua finds Bay in the paint. Foul on Kefale Leonard. I feel like the officials were kind there. It's all square. 3:41 to play. It's a tight one. Winner takes all and takes the series lead of this game. It's APR Lions Basketball Club, the defending champions, taking on RSSB Tigers as Adonis Villa checks in for the first time in this game.
I don't give people a heart attack saying the winner's going to take all. There's still a game 4.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but the winner takes the lead, eh?
Sure, absolutely. And I think this game is really important for both teams to establish their dominance.
Hervé takes a 3. Didn't expect him to take a 3. It's not his strong point, but the second chance points are starting to tell. Zuzua side step 3, in and out, but Bay cleans up those glasses.
Bay's getting warm, huh?
Yeah, and Tigers are starting to Craig Randall, foul, Hervé, that's why he's in the court. Tigers are starting to create the second chance points, and that's where they lead, in creation of the second chance points. Craig Randall, he feeds off that energy. He wants that matchup with Hervé. He wants that exchange of words. But Trey Bay is laughing at him and saying, I don't know what you're doing. I've been playing with you for a very long time, man. They're former teammates. Yeah. Craig Randall and Bay are former high school teammates.
No way.
It's like, I know you too well, my guy.
Why does it feel like Ronda brings people who are teammates back to play on our court? Because if you remember, in BAL, Godaya and Einstein.
Yep.
Odero, right?
Odero and Einstein.
They faced each other when APR played NCT.
I think it's a matter of it being a small world.
Small world.
Small, very small world. I mistakenly always take your words off because it's a small world.
Right.
Craig Randall misses both uncharacteristically. Antonio Jackson pushes the tempo, guarded by Adonis Villa. Adonis Villa finds Bay in that pick and roll. Shaka Olivia for 3. Can't hit. Adonis Villa with the rebound. Adonis Villa up against his former teammate, Hervé. They play together at Rwanda Energy Group back in the day. Hervé, Kefale Leonard in the paint, finds Axel Mpoyo. He shoots that 3. Money! Axel Mpoyo and Leonard is feeling it. Great movement of the basketball there, right there. 14-13, the difference. 15-13, sorry. 2 points is the difference. Antonio Jackson off to Bay, and they go into that pick-up goal. Shema Osborne defends that really, really well. If I'm Coach James May, I know I don't coach defense, but I would be glad with it.
Love how both teams are really having to work for every point. They're not getting it easy. I mean, they've studied each other. They know what to expect. They know, like, you know, when the ball is in Antonio's hands, where is it? Like, you follow, right? The players' movement. I think they're doing a pretty good job. We won't know who's going to win this until the last minute again.
Guess what, Kristen? And one counted money. Guess who's in foul trouble?
Shock for us.
Foul trouble. 221 on the clock. Adonis Villa. He is feeling it. And man, someone get a camera on Mama Axel Boyo. She is definitely, or she looks like she's the good luck charm. Because she hardly ever loses any game when she comes to watch her son play.
Don't do some commentators curse on Axel Porter's mom, please.
We love her, we love her.
They do great energy.
Zuzua. 4 points the difference. Ishimwe checks in for the first time in this game. Ishimwe finds Bay.
Hey!
Ooh, can't hit. Bay thought he was fouled right there. Craig Randall for 3. Craig Randall, money!
That was nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Tigers are in trouble. 21-13 is the difference, but if basketball is a game of runs, Ishimwe got it by Craig Randall, finds Hervé. Hervé finds Zuzua. Zuzua finds Shaka Olivier in the paint. Olivier up against Shema Osborne. He's too big for him. Adonis Fila finds Yafale Leonard for the alley-oop. Ishimwe finds Zuzua. Adonis Fila is down on the floor. Ref call it. Captain William Robbins also checked into the game for APR Basketball Club. He's one of the players I didn't think was going to get as many minutes because we saw what that big ball lineup did for APR previously. Surprisingly, Mukama Victor is yet to get any minutes. I'm hoping that Adonis Fila hasn't had his going out there because that's the area he seems to be taking. No one else.
Of course.
You
Quite
wouldn't know, but it's perfect.
Back to basketball. I do think William Robbins has been having a very interesting season overall. I mean, we talked about it in the last game, right?
Yep.
In theory, he's a 3-point shooter. That was great pick up by
Mutabazi. Paul.
He's been on
One of your favorite players?
favorite upcoming players. I'm really excited for some of the talents that are developing here in Rwanda. Of course, they're playing alongside some really experienced players. I think they're definitely players to watch in upcoming seasons.
Like he's 21 years old, but he has the composure. And a veteran that has been in the league for 5, 6, 7 years. And as I mentioned in the last game, Christian, that is the part of his game that he really needs to work on. His finishes, right? He needs to hit those free throws if he's to take that next leap to superstardom on this African continent.
I completely agree, especially since he's dominantly within the paint. He will get those fouls. He needs to be able to convert those free throws for the points that he doesn't get from his shots.
7 points the difference. Adonis Fila easily gets past Zuzua. Easily gets past Shaka Olivier. And Ozzy gets his first rebound of the game. I think he got an assist there from Mutabazi. Zuzua.
There were a lot of hands up in the
There
air.
were a lot of hands. Paul Bizimana off the bounce. Paul Bizimana in the point. And he knows he has that size advantage. This is a 6'7" guy. And he is bigger than Jefale Leonard. He's going to push him and he's going to have him for breakfast any day, all day in that paint.
Yeah, and I think, even though APR are currently leading by 9 points, we have 47 seconds to go in this first quarter. Earlier, they were showing a couple of the newest recruits of APR who seem a little bit tense, even though they're currently leading. I don't think they should be comfortable just yet. If we learned anything from the last game, 20-something points is not a definitive win until that last whistle.
It's a game of runs. Again, Paul Bizimana misses the first free throw. 47 to play in the first quarter. Misses both. Gaston checks into the game. Adonis Fila. Got it by Zuzua. Adonis Fila looking for Craig Randall. Craig Randall checks off Mutabazi. Shoots from the way downtown. Look, what was that from Mutabazi? That is switching off when you don't need to be switching off. APR basketball. Adonis Fila, 12 to shoot with a jumper. Hand in the cookie jar. Hand in the cookie jar there by Zuzua. Adonis Villa shooting too.
I know we only have 27 seconds to go in this quarter, but both these teams are in foul trouble. They really need to not be giving away free points like this.
Mama Poyo is really having a time of her life. You can see there courtside. She talks her ish. Oh, right there, Mama Poyo. We love her. We love
Very
her. We love
passionate.
her. Very passionate. Adonis Villa. Next both. 11 points for difference. Largest lead in this series by APR Basketball Club. They've not had a lead this big. And it seems to be going according to plan for the Lions. Zuzua inbounding. Difference between the shot clock and game clock is 3 seconds. Ishima with the rock. Ishima pressing the double team. Gets Zuzua with the ball. Zuzua beats 2, beats 3. And Shaka Olivier can't beat. They can't make their shots. Robbins, 12 seconds to play. Finds Gasto. Finds Craig Grando. Got it by Mutavazi. Craig Grando in the double team. He seemed to have been fouled. The refs are not buying. 27-16. First quarter comes to an end. 11 points the difference. APR Basketball Club dominant, and it has been that Mantia Fale Leonard with 9 points to lead the way for the Lions. Kristen, where do you go from here what has gone wrong actually for the Tigers in that first quarter?
I think one of the first things that they did, not them, but like APR did, was frustrate Nate Roberts, right? The fact that Nate got out so early in the quarter, I think it messed up with kind of the flow that they'd had going within that first minute. Of course, I mean, Shaka Olivier, generally a dependable person, but he's definitely not at the level of offense and defense that Nate Roberts has shown in the last game. We haven't seen Zuzua take many shots. He currently only has 2. Antino as well seems to not. Actually, how many points does Antino? Doesn't have any points.
He is 0 for 4, right? And it has gone according to the game plan, I think, that APR Lions set out, which was get that ball out of Antino's hands or let him shoot it from the parking lot. That's what he has been doing.
What would you do? What would you continue doing if you were APR, and what would you stop doing if you were Tigers?
Excuse me, Chris. Look, if I was the Tigers basketball club, I would ask Zuzua to attack more. I would get that ball into Zuzua's hands much more. But they need Antino Jackson there out for every other minute of this game if they are to stand a chance. Look, you brought Hervé onto the court to be that defensive anchor against Craig Grando, and he seems to be doing a fairly good job. But what that has done is it has taken away offense from the Tigers basketball club, because then you have 2 men on Jackson every single time he brings that rock up. And they seem to attack him defensively, as you can see right there with Adonis Villa. Gaston gets the rebound, picked by Paul Bizimana. Zuzua trying to move fast. Paul. Again, he can't finish, but he is fouled. And Zuzua doesn't seem happy with that. Paul Bizimana going to the free throw line for the 3rd time already, and he has only been able to hit 1 of 4. That's about a 25% free throw percentage in this game for the Rwandan International.
Right. Why is that so much offense? Did they give a technical to Zuzua?
Yes, technical to Zuzua. He didn't need to go rushing in. Had a lot of words for the ref. They said balls don't lie.
I knew you were gonna say that. But you know what's interesting though?
Yep.
Zuzua is generally a very calm and level-headed person. For him to go at a ref like that, he feels very strongly about what happened with Bizimana.
But you know what's interesting? I mean, it doesn't matter.
The tension's high. Anything feels like a lot in this game. Like there's a lot riding on this game, right? And they're currently down by 9 points, 11 points. Not even 9. Sorry.
Paul Bizimana seems to still can't buy a basket from the free throw line. Still can't hit. That free throw percentage now must be about 18%. Adonis Fila brings up the basket. 9:33 on the clock to play. Fila finds Robbins. 12 on the shot clock. Craig Grando up against. It's a turnover. Zuzua up against Robbins. Easy two. He attacks that paint real quick. He is a pro.
Absolutely. I think he was very right. Zuzua does definitely need to go a bit harder. Yes, he can play the facilitation role, but he also needs to attack.
Turnover. APR. Tigers basketball.
Mohamedou is back on the floor.
Mohamed Diane gave us an offensive rebound masterclass. But well, at the end of the day, Nate Roberts 10 offensive rebounds. And he is still not back on the floor. And that was in spite of his 4 early points for Tigers Basketball Club. 27-18 is score 9 points the difference. You are watching us on Okapi Sports Network as Nore Harimana checks back into the game. Tracker Olivier finds Antino Jackson. Antino Jackson tries to conduct traffic up against his former teammate. That's Roberts, oh man. Jackson up against Adonis Fila. Foul on Adonis Fila. Jackson sees it go through the basket, but foul called early on the floor, sideboard.
You're talking about Nate Roberts. Yes, he might not be on the floor right now, but I think, especially considering APR seems to want to foul him out, I think it's a smart move to keep him out. As long as this gap doesn't get too big,
Yep.
You time his return, he'll definitely change the energy of the game and the pace. I think it's a smart move by the Tigers coach.
Chaka Olivier for 3, air ball, can't find nothing. They need 2 points from the others. Adonis Villa up against Chaka Olivier, Bex, shakes. Olivier recovers, no, he doesn't foul.
I think we're going to end up with a quarter that's going to be in foul trouble again. 1 minute and 22 seconds into this quarter, we already have both teams at two team fouls. It's very interesting how they've both decided, they're going to be very physical. They're going to be very much in each other's face. Like, can we afford to do that? We're still in the first half.
It's a make or miss league, right? If you are APR Basketball Club, you're okay with fouling Paul Bizimana as things go by. So you really won't care much. And if you are Tigers Basketball Club, you don't know who not to foul because all the players on that court for APR Basketball Club can hit their free throws.
Fair point.
Tigers need to create some form of offense. Antino Jackson changes pace up against Axel Boyo. And in the cooking jar for Axel Boyo. Antino Jackson gets going. Fast points coming. With 8:29 to go in the second quarter. 12 minutes later, he finds the basket. 8 points the difference. And he is on the free throw line to add 1.
Don't comment on his percentage.
No comment to discuss there for the captain, Nore Habimana. A change in defensive strategy there for Tigers Basketball Club. And it pays off. The box in 1. Antino Jackson up against 2. Jackson for 3. Can't cash in. Paul Bizimana with a rebound. No, Mohamed Diane says this is my house. Nore Habimana finds Axel Boyo. Axel Boyo, extra pass. Money from Captain Robbins. In the corner. 31-21. 10 points the difference. Antino Jackson finds Bay. Bay moves right, left, shakes, backs. Olivier for 3. Olivier can't buy a basket. Bizimana, second chance points. Shot clock down to 8. Zuzua, step back 3. Can't hit. Nore Habimana. Look, the Tigers are getting the second chance points. Greg Robbins. Money! Money! Timeout. Tigers and APR Basketball Club. 35-21. 34-21. Difference is 30 points. Robbins, William Robbins, is in the good.
He is. He is. I don't know what it is about this series. Every game has a different person who's locked in. And I mean, it's fascinating, right? Both of the shots that he just made, there was no one defending him. He was literally by himself and had all the time to shoot. That's a very dangerous move to give Robin space. Because at the end of the day, while we might say, okay, you know, he doesn't get enough time because there's so many three-point shooters, when he does, I mean, he's going to capitalize on it, of course.
You know what they say about that?
Who?
Form is temporary, class is permanent. The form is temporary, class is permanent.
Oh, okay. Who said that? Who's they? The they you always
Google. Right. 7:29 to play. 34-21 is the difference. APR Basketball Club, 13 points to the good against Tigers Basketball Club.
It's so interesting to see how these game three scoreboards have looked. If you see, I mean, the people who are leading scorers, I mean, they haven't been as aggressive, especially in the first half. Samaria didn't end up being our top scorer in Patriots game. But here, I mean, Randall is currently sitting on 4. The lead scorer of APR is still TFL Leonard Jr.
And Chris, that goes down to when you play the same team over and over again, the teams make adjustments. Of course, right? And now, Tigers have made their defensive adjustments for Randall. They seem to be working. But what's not working for them is their offense, because clearly APR also did their homework. Bang. Offensive foul.
That was quite the slide.
We need to watch that, but the officials have called an offensive foul. It seems like Nore Habimana set his feet early on. Nore Habimana is one of the better guards at taking charges, right? So listen, he sets his feet right. It's the right call. It's the right call. He sets his feet early, right? The refs called it right. Nore Habimana. Guarded by Paul, his national teammate, Paul Bizimana. Finds the man with a hot hand. Roberts. Rebound picked by Bay. If I'm the Tigers coach, I am worried about Bay's body language.
Just flip that ball.
Yeah. He is feeling the physicality of this league.
I'm surprised though. I thought he'd actually just ramp it up, right? We saw that he can be quite aggressive, both in the paint and from the perimeter. Yes, it's frustrating that you have to adjust in the same way that they're adjusting to you. We have Nate Roberts back on the floor.
Zuzua with a floater. 2. Jumper off the elbow. Nore Habimana attacks the paint for the first time in this game. He tells Paul Bizimana, you can't guard me. You can't guard me. Zuzua off the screen. Zuzua in and out. Step back 3. Side step for Zuzua. They have not been falling. Adonis Fila with the rebound. Finds. Oh, that looked like a walk, but ref gives it. Ref gives it. Mohamed Diane with the basket. 34-21. 13 points the difference. Sorry, 38-23. 15 points the difference. Biggest lead of the game. Antino Jackson in and out. Finds Bay. Bay for 2. Can't buy. Gets his own rebound. Bay. Robbins finds extra pass to Axel Boyer. Bam! Money! And right now, Tigers Basketball Club is in huge trouble. 41-23 is the difference. 17 points the difference. Foul on Mohamed Diani. 5:25 to go. But listen, like we saw in the previous game, right? There's always hope.
There is. Actually, what I've been thinking about in the last couple of minutes as we've been watching APR, yes, this lead is growing, and I feel like in the stats we'll see it as well. It's 3 points that they're making. Like, this is very typical APR, not necessarily this season, but the season before. And it's dangerous. I mean, it's a strategy that's working right now, right? But if they start getting frustrated at the perimeter, others might actually make a comeback.
And that is the huge difference right now. Perimeter shooting, right?
Yeah.
Because the perimeter, when you get the perimeter shooting going, it also opens up for you inside. Roberts makes 1 of 2. 41-24. Adonis Fila brings it up the court, guarded by Zuzua. Fila goes left, goes right, goes left, settles on left. He is back, 12 to shoot on the shot clock. Bruno Shema sees his first minutes.
That shot clock is going down.
And Adonis Fila, 5 to shoot, 3 to shoot on the shot clock. Fila, he will put it up. Can't hit. Net Roberts with the rebound. Antino Jackson finds Bay. Bay in the open court. Bay makes the two. 41-24. Sorry, 41-26. On ball foul. Who has that foul been called? Oh, Bruno Nyamwasa. For a moment there, he thought Net Roberts would be in some trouble. They need him on that play.
You know, it's interesting. Just before this foul got called, I was actually just looking at the fact that APR are in foul trouble, and we still have just a little bit under 5 minutes to go in this quarter.
Tigers are not far off with 4 fouls as well. Nore Habimana inbounding, finds Axel Mpoyo. Nore, tricked by Antino Jackson, but Nore collects. Bay with the steal, got it by Tiafale Leonard. Tiafale Leonard dunks it.
Bay dunks it.
Sorry, I was looking at Tiafale Leonard's body language right there. And that's why I was looking at his body language. He seemed off.
What's going on? What's going on? Very interesting. Former teammates are seeming to have a bit of tension where Habimana was refusing to give Jackson the ball. I think Nori is not happy with the call that just happened, and APR has lost possession.
41-28, the difference. 12 points, the difference. Antino Jackson off the screen. Antino Jackson finds Bruno Nyamwasa. Bruno Nyamwasa finds for 3. He can't hit. Nore Habimana collects the rebound. Nore finds Axel Mpoyo. Axel Mpoyo on the wing finds Craig Randall, who's takes back into the game. Craig Randall for 3, can't hit. Mohamed Diane tries to get the rebound. Bruno Nyamwasa finds Net Roberts, who is fouled by Axel Mpoyo. Axel Mpoyo picking up his 3rd foul of the game. Oh, so it's Mohamed Diane picking up his 3rd foul for the game. And that's early foul trouble for the big man, who I don't think APR Basketball Club can play without. And so it's both big men, Mohamed Diane and Net Roberts, getting into early foul trouble, and that changes the game plans for both teams, offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting matchup. Every time I keep seeing Antino and Diane together, I'm like, that size difference, that's a very dangerous combination.
Look, APR haven't had a lot of positivity when they've gone to Shema Osborne at the center position, right? He doesn't have the same impact on the floor as Mohamed Diane. The thing about Shema Osborne is he's going to stretch it when you go offensively because he can shoot the 3. But defensively, you know, Shaq Olivier, Net Roberts, Bay, these are big boys, right? They're going to eat him for breakfast.
I do love the pressure that Tigers are putting on APR, though. I mean, their defense is quite strong. And when Zuzua is driving, he's becoming a problem.
Although Zuzua is one of the better players in the transition play, right? You could put him up there with DeMaria Franklin when it comes to transition basketball. The worst you're going to get out of him is him being fouled, to be fair. As we see Tariq Bay
He's definitely having a better game today, you know?
Yep.
He's currently the only player who has double digits.
And they need a high scoring game from him. Third Bay gets his 4th point. He's shooting one more.
He's on track. I mean, definitely having a lot more momentum and success this game compared to the last game.
That lead down to 11 points. Nore Halimana. Guarded by Antonio Jackson. The two national teammates. And Nore Habimana finds Shema Osborne. Osborne out to Tiafale Leonard. He can't buy the 3. Net Roberts collects the rebound. Antonio Jackson pushes the pace. Transition defense set for APR Basketball Club. Antonio Jackson can't buy that 2. Expect to make that. Tiafale Leonard attacking the transition basketball. Shema Osborne. Nore Habimana. He has all the time in the world. Finds the iron. Zuzua collects the rebound. Zuzua behind the back. Beats Tiafale Leonard. Beats 2. Axel Poyo. Bay takes the 3. Puts it up. Money with the floater. Asks for the foul. He is not giving. Craig Grando. Craig Grando got it by Bruno Nyamwasa. Craig Grando tries to middle it in. Zuzua collects the steal. Zuzua finds. Try to look for that alley oop with Ned Roberts. But you have a 0 on 2. Why are you going for the alley oop? Easy basket. Come on. 41-32. 9 points the difference.
I think the focus right now definitely needs to be to bring that gap down and put them in a more comfortable spot going into the second half of the game.
You are trying to walk this down as slowly as possible. Craig Randall beats Nyamwasa Bruno. Easy dive there for Shema Osborne under the basket. Osborne, 4 points. Giving you some good minutes right about now. Antonio Jackson got it by Shema Osborne. In and out. Jackson finds Net Roberts. Net Roberts finds Bruno. Shema Osborne with good rotation defense. And that's why you need the others to hit. Craig Randall for 3. Can't find Tiafale Leonard. Finds Antonio Jackson. Antonio Jackson pushes the pace. Finds Ray with the basket. 9 points the difference. 43-34. APR Basketball Club in the lead. 2 minutes to play in this second quarter to end this first half. Fascinating basketball game we have on our hands right about now. You're watching it on Okapi Sports. Like what? Hand in the cookie jar for Bruno Nyamwasa. Both teams in foul trouble. Craig Randall shooting 2.
What a crazy game. What a crazy game. Do you know half of Tigers' points are coming from Bay? Like, Bay is becoming a problem for APR. Yes, they might still be trailing, but he is really getting into it. They're struggling to stop him.
He's finding his mojo, right? And that is going to open up for the other players. But what you need is they need those bench points. They need the likes of Bruno Nyamwasa. They need the likes of Olivier Shaka to hit their open shots, because they are going to keep getting those open shots throughout the game. Ishimwe checks into the game, and you can see Zuzua seemingly frustrated here on the sidelines. $11 points the difference. 153 to shoot. To end this quarter, sorry. Robert finds Ishimwe between the legs against. Whoa! Ishimwe makes the 3.
The bench we're talking about.
That is watching it from your bench. And he's winning it 45-37. 8 points the difference. Adonis Fila up against Ishimwe. Mid-range jumper, can't hit. Antonio Jackson brings it up the floor. Antonio Jackson changes pace. Start. Antonio Jackson, mid-range for 2. 39-45, 6 points the difference. Nore Harimana. 105 to play. Tigers crawling back into this game.
Bruno needs to be careful. That's his 3rd personal foul.
That is a stupid foul, for lack of a better word. That's not a foul to have. And you see Craig Randall going over to the Tigers bench. He lives for these moments. He wants to talk his ish to them and feed off that energy. He's an energy player. What a game we have on our hands. 6 points the difference. 101 to play. You're watching us on Okapi Sports Network. We're coming to the end of this quarter. Stick around for some halftime analysis before we go into a commercial break.
Craig Randall is really having quite a number of conversations.
Let me tell you, he feeds off this. He feeds off those conversations.
Look at it. Yeah.
He wants that. He misses the first one. Craig Randall with 6 points so far. He has struggled from the free throw line in this game, which is very uncharacteristic of him. He makes the second one. Lead back to 7 points. Antino Jackson brings it up the floor, directing traffic, asking for that screen off Net Roberts. They go into that pick and roll, finds Bay. Bay, top of the screen, Bay, between the legs, back to Jackson. Jackson sets for three, no. Up against Adonis Fila. Jackson, sidestep three, can't hit. Ishimwe, he's giving you that extra effort. Gets it to Ishimwe. He steps out of bounds.
Unlucky, but that was such a great effort by Lars. He picked up that rebound, tried to create an opportunity. I mean, his final footing messed up the possession.
Tigers need a good game from Lars today. They need a good game from their bench. Lori Habimana in and out against Damasa Bruno, attacks him. Adonis Fila for three. Fila can't hit. Bay collects that rebound. Tariq Bay, he's attacking that paint up against Axel Poyo, in and out. Ishimwe Laz, and he can't seem to handle that basketball, and his coach seems frustrated with him. 6 seconds to play, and APR call a timeout. 46-39.
Would you have called a timeout right now?
Yep.
As APR?
Yep.
Or as Tigers?
As APR.
Why, slow down the momentum?
No. I'm trying to get an easy basket, right? Because I stretch out this lead. If I get a basket at this juncture, it's a morale killer. 2 Tigers going into that dressing room. If Tigers don't concede that basket, they have the upper hand going into the second half because they've gotten the momentum. So you are trying to kill that momentum.
I hear you, but coming from that earlier game, like, those halftime conversations, it seems like both teams can come out going either way, right?
The difference between that game and this game is you feel like Red got very lax. None of these teams can go into a halftime with a lead and come back lax against each other.
I don't think they got lax. I think the Patriots upped the ante in the second half, and that's what puts Reg off. It's not necessarily that they weren't trying. It's that they weren't being efficient. They started fumbling. Like, it's not that they were relaxed. They just didn't expect the response from Patriots.
Yeah, but that's why I say they got lax, because how do you cut a lead down from 25 points? The coach is not calling the timeouts when need be, when you can see the momentum is clearly switching, right? That's being lax. Ooh! Adonis Fila, known for taking those final shots, almost had one there. 46-39. That is the difference. 6 points difference in this game 3. The winner takes a 2-1 series lead. You're watching us on Okapi Sports Network. It's Tigers basketball versus APR basketball club. Arnold and Christine, follow us on social media at Okapi Sports Network. We'll be back after this short break. Christian, looking at this, oh, there seems to be a there's no loss for words. There's some exchange of what's happening in those tunnels right about now. People seem to be walking into each other's dressing rooms, and we're going to find out what is going on right there. Zuzua doesn't seem pleased at all. Christian, what do you think is happening?
I don't think it's a Zuzua problem. I think that Randall seems to be trying to pick a fight because he's not letting it go. I mean, both teams are giving it their all, and of course the tensions are high. I'm not sure why he keeps on deciding he wants to go and talk to the Tigers players. He should just play his game, right? Like, do what he does best. If he wants to punish them, let him punish them on the scoreboard, not by exchanging words.
No, Craig Randall and Zuzua, clearly no love lost. And just, these are guys who call each other brothers off the court. But when the money comes, will the honey stay? The great poet Jay-Z said so.
First it was the unknown day, and now it's the great poet Jay-Z. Anyway.
46-39 halftime show happening there. Shout out to Cheetah. The drink. It is Tigers Basketball Club versus APR Basketball Club. Third game. The series is all level. We'll be back after this short break.
And welcome back. Really quickly, we're going to walk you through some of the halftime stats. APR is currently leading this half 46 points to 39, but Tigers are actually leading in field goal percentage, leading by 40%, while APR have 30. But again, like we said in the earlier commentary, APR is shooting more 3 points, and they've had 30% of their 3 points land, while Tigers only have had 11. But Tigers, as in game 1 and game 2, very strong rebounding with 27 rebounds, while APR have done 22. But APR is upping the ante in terms of assists and have done 11, while Tigers only have 9. But Tigers working hard. They're stealing the ball with 6 to APR's 2. And APR is doing better in the free throws. They've made 14 of 18, while Tigers have only made 5 of 11. Please stick around. The game is only going to get tighter. We know that this is going to get down to the last seconds. It's an exciting game. Let us know who you think is going to win. Is it APR or is it Tigers? Thanks, everyone.
Before the arena lights shine, before the crowds fill the stands, it begins with a dream. A kid who watches, a coach who believes, a player who inspires.
Adoni playing with Adonis triple filer.
A practice becomes a passion, a player becomes an inspiration, and a fan begins to dream. Rides can wait, meetings can wait, because moments like these don't.
Woo!
Basketball isn't just played inside an arena. It lives on dusty courts, in crowded streets, in homes gathered around the screen. It's in every neighborhood, bringing strangers together, turning quiet moments into unforgettable ones. Every game, every story, every fan, across nations, only on Okapi. Before the arena lights shine, before the crowds fill the stands, it begins with a dream. A kid who watches, a coach who believes, a player who inspires.
Adoni playing with Adonis triple filer.
A practice becomes a passion, a player becomes an inspiration, and a fan begins to dream. Rides can wait, meetings can wait, because moments like these don't.
Woo!
Basketball isn't just played inside an arena. It lives on dusty courts, in crowded streets, in homes gathered around the screen. It's in every neighborhood, bringing strangers together, turning quiet moments into unforgettable ones. Every game, every story, every fan, across nations, only on Okapi.
Back in again on Sunday.
You are watching the second semi-final of today, Game 3 of the Best of 5 series happening between happening in the Rwanda Basketball League, Christine. RSSB Tigers versus APR Lions. 46-39 is the score. 7 points is the difference between these two powerhouses. The winner takes a series lead going into that game 4 happening on Wednesday. Kristen, coming out of this halftime break, if you're the Tigers, how do you come back into this game?
You definitely start building that momentum again. You need to be very careful with that perimeter shooting of APR. That, I mean, if we saw the stats earlier, that's where they're killing Tigers, right? Like Tigers, 3 points are not landing, but APRs are. And we know, I mean, 3 is quite a score. Have a couple of those. It's literally the difference between what Randall scored game 1 versus game 2. Those 3 versus 8. It makes a difference. So I'd be very careful with the perimeter shooting. Don't leave people unmarked. Don't give Mpoyo, Robbins, Filer too much space, because they will take advantage of it.
Rightfully, you say so, because APR Basketball Club has felt like the APR of the old, right? They live by the 3, they die by the 3. Williams, Robbins, Axel Mpoyo. They have turned back the ends of time, right? They've turned back that clock and say, hey, we're still here. We still run this show. I know you're talking about Craig Randall. I know you think it's Tiafale Leonard, but this is our team. We run this business. We've been there. We are the champions for a reason. Quick to note, Mukama Victor is not even on the bench, so there must be an injury there somewhere, and yet he is on the official lineup.
That's very sad to note. I hope it's nothing serious. He definitely adds to APR's bench power. It would be a sad loss if he won't be able to play in the rest of the series.
Well, at the moment, they don't look like they're missing him. Zuzua with the basket. Zuzua finds Hervé. Hervé finds Bay. Bay. 4-2. Money. Jump shots. 5 points the difference. You can see the Tigers bench is up there. Nore Habimana brings it up. Guarded by Antino Jackson. Nore Habimana between the legs. Finds Axel Mpoyo. Axel Mpoyo finds Craig Randall. Craig Randall off the screen. The double team comes. Finds Axel Mpoyo. He shoots at 3. Money. Axel Mpoyo lead back to 8 points. Look, APR has shooters everywhere. And so if you are going to double team, right, then you're paying the price. And that's where a player like Harvey needs to be a lot smarter when those switches happen. Jackson, back to Harvey. Harvey, back to Jackson. Jackson, guarded by Axel Mpoyo. Roberts finds Harvey. Harvey, Zuzua steps out of bounds. He's struggling from 3 in this game. Turnover, ball to the Lions. I like these new APR kits. They look nice.
I agree.
Nore Habimana, guarded by Jackson. Nore Habimana on the wing. Finds Axel Mpoyo. They get into their set play. Axel Mpoyo back to Nore Habimana. He slips. Finds his feet. Nore Habimana off the top. And referee Sifa says, man, you're walking to heaven. You're walking to heaven.
Or trying to.
Or you're trying to, yep. Travel. Zuzua brings it up the court. Tigers need more from Zuzua if they are to get back into this game. 8 points the difference. Zuzua, top of the key, finds Antino Jackson. Antino Jackson into that pick motion with Bay. Mohamed Diane fouls him. Mohamed Diane might be in foul trouble because that could be his 4th foul.
It is his 4th foul.
Yep.
It is his 4th. That's very dangerous. This is too early in the second half for him to be in foul trouble. Bay has figured something out though. Like, he's having a good game. He currently has 19 points. He's the only double-digit scorer across both teams.
Look, Kristen, if I'm the Tigers, I love it here. You know why? I may be 8 points down or 7 points now, but I would rather play Shema Osborne because they can attack him all day, every day, right? 6 points the difference. Bay makes both his free throws. Nore Habimana up against Jackson. Osborne picked. That's the difference between Diane and Osborne. And there, Roberts, bang! He is laughing.
That was Moses. He parted the sea.
And there, Tiafale Leonard in the corner finds Osborne. Osborne, Axel Mpoyo out to the wing. Mpoyo can't hit this time. He's having a good shooting game. Craig Randall walks into that 3. Money! Craig Randall, Zuzua. Coach Munuka saying, calm down. 7 points, the difference. What a game we have on our hands. Zuzua finds Bay. Bay for 3. Bang! He says, Randall, what you can do, I can do equally as well. The money. Tiafale Leonard in and out. Finds Axel Poyo. Axel Poyo finds traffic. Poyo back out. Nori Habimana sets the screen. Tiafale Leonard up against Jackson. The mismatch. That's what they're looking for. Tiafale Leonard turnover. Harvey finds Zuzua. Zuzua transition 3. Money.
Timeout.
Timeout. I would call it timeout. Basketball club. Difference is 1 point. Ladies and gentlemen, 7:15 to play. You are watching the best of London Basketball League out here on Okapi Sports Christian. Whoa.
I told you, Arnold. That halftime conversation, that locker room.
Christian, do you know what the difference is? The difference is Mohamed Jane's 4 fouls. Because the moment he's off that court, Tigers start running. And they know there is no defensive threat on the boards from APR Basketball Club, right? So they can let APR swing it around, and they know they're not just going to get any rebounds. The difference is having Mohamed Jani on the court.
I agree. I mean, he's having a pretty low-scoring game. I'm sure he's been rebounding around similar to what he's been doing across the series, but yeah, not having him on the floor is definitely a huge difference. We keep seeing that matchup between him and Jackson. I think Jackson will be very happy to not be playing against him.
And net robots, look at how that Red Sea just parted ways.
They just watched it.
Yeah. 1 point the difference, 7:15 to play APR basketball. Nore Habimana brings it up, guarded by Antino Jackson. The 2 national teammates. Nore goes into Jackson's chest. That's a big boy move by Nore Habimana, and he tells him, you can't guard me. Too little.
Dynamite comes in small packages. Don't be underestimating Antino.
Zuzua. Oh, that looks like a foul.
Crossover. Not foul.
Oh, my bad. Interesting call from the refs. 54-51, 3 points the difference. Craig Randall seems to love this matchup. He feels like he's gotten into his groove against Harvey. Harvey says, nah, I got this.
Hey man, Hervé is putting pressure. He's not giving Randall any breathing room.
Easy baskets there. And that's a swing in momentum in such calls. 56-51, league back to 5 points. Bay through the paint. Misses the floater. Roberts collects the rebound. Zuzua finds Roberts up against Bay. Bay shakes and bakes. Looks for Jackson. Jackson for 3 from downtown. Can't hit. Again, Ned Roberts. Fouls. That's a good foul to take by Nore Habimana.
That was great timing.
That's a good foul to take by Nore Habimana because that's a momentum shifter. He dunks that ball. The stadium is up. The momentum changes.
I mean, we're already up, Arnold. These games have had us at the edge of our seats. I mean, if you had Monday blues, they're definitely not there anymore.
What Monday blues? What are Monday blues? Come on, Rwanda Basketball League. Let's have games on Mondays. What are Monday blues?
Hey, please, let's vote. Let's vote on that. I vote against Monday games.
It's a full house, man. It's a full house. Net Roberts misses the first one. Makes the second one. 4 points the difference. Nore Habimana brings it up the court. Guarded by Antino Jackson. Nore. Antino Jackson switching everything, sticking by him. Nore is guarding Jackson and going at him. So it's one of two things, right? And you can see that's a clear game plan by APR that either Jackson fouls and gets into foul trouble. So that means they have a player off. They're affecting Tigers offense, or he can't guard Nore. Because look, it's 5'9", 5'10" against a 6'3", 6'4" player, right? That's a huge difference. And that's the matchup we've been talking about for years, which Nore needs to take advantage of his size at that point guard position.
You're right. But Antino's doing a pretty good job. He's not given Nore too many fouls. He's currently sitting on 2 team fouls, and Tigers as a team has only 1 in this quarter.
Roberts finds Jackson. Jackson, he splits it. Ooh. Find themselves in traffic. Zuzua for 3. Money. Zuzua says, okay, I fumbled, but I'm sorry. You know, I've made up for it.
He made up for it.
3 points is the difference. 5:31 to play. Chiafale Leonard handling the rock. Leonard switches lanes. Goes to the floater. Foul. Shooting 2. Who's that foul on?
Waiting to see the replay. Roberts.
Second team foul, and it's on Roberts. Interested. Roberts are taking advantage of the lack of size with Mohamed Diane going to the bench because he was getting into early foul trouble. Chiafale Leonard misses the first one.
A very interesting strategy, though, and I would say yes. You know, Roberts should take advantage of the fact that Mohamedou is not on the floor, but he also needs to be a bit careful, right? Yep. Him and Bruno are the only 2 Tigers players who are currently sitting with 3 personal fouls, and Chiafale misses both his free throws.
I could live with Bruno's fouls. You can't live with Roberts' fouls.
Completely agree.
Antino Jackson between the legs. Jackson to the left wing, switches lanes. Jackson finds Bay. Jackson back. Guarded by Chiafale Leonard. Jackson in between. Oh my God! Big shake. Money. That is Antino Jackson. Nore Harimana. All square. 4:51 to play. Nore Harimana. They switch everything. Harimana finds Chiafale Leonard. Guarded by Harvey. Pushing foul on Leonard. 14 to shoot. 4:44 to go. It's 58 all. You're watching the best of Rwandan basketball.
Can we just talk about the fact that Hervé Chishatse has not scored anything in this game, but his impact.
Yep.
He is making a difference on the floor. He is keeping the pressure high on these APR players.
He is. For what he doesn't give you offensively, he gives you defensively. And again, Nore Harimana goes into the chest of Antino Jackson. Clearly the game plan. Zuzua picks the rebound. Zuzua against Osborne. Osborne struggling to keep pace with Zuzua. Harvey shoots for 3. Bang! Money! 3 points the difference. The crowd are on their feet.
We are the crowd too. We are on our feet. What a shot!
You just said he couldn't shoot the 3. Craig Randall tries to answer. Rebound collected by Leonard. What is it a foul or is it a side ball?
Looks like a side ball, but it
no,
seems
because
like they want
if it's
to
not
review.
A foul, then it's clearly off the hands of
Bay.
No,
Bay?
of Leonard, Chiafale Leonard. It's clearly off the hands of Chiafale Leonard if it's not a foul. So either the officials call it as a foul or it's off the hands. And you know, mistakes do happen.
So they've asked for a review, and it seems the refs are actually going to go and have a look.
Yes. I can put my money on this, Christian. So unless they call it as a foul on the floor, which means Leonard shoots 2 because he was going up. But clearly, that was off his hands.
One thing that's changed in this playoff series is the review mechanism, right?
Yeah.
Which I feel like the teams haven't been utilizing as much. They've definitely been very selective.
Yep.
It's been interesting to see where players really request, like they're pushing for a review and the coaches refuse to do it, even though the players have the conviction that you have, where you want to put money on it.
I think that's the beauty of being behind the scenes here with Okapi Sports. We can see everything else all day, every day. Kristen, 4 or 6 to play. 51-61. Tigers are in the lead for the first time.
Listen, if I was APR, I'd be very uncomfortable right now. Because Tigers, they came in cool, calm, collected. Yes, it might not have started in their favor,
Yep.
but they had a game plan and it was solid, and they frustrated APR enough to come back and now take the lead again. I think if they continue, just keeping the pressure high, have your Hervé, he might not make any shots, depend on other people, have Zuzua keep on driving, Nate dominating in the paint. It's looking... I don't want to call it too early because, this commentator's curse has me scared, but let's watch the game.
Adonis Fila checks into the game. And yeah, Christian told you, Tigers win the review, right? It was clearly off Tiafale Leonard's hand, right? So unless you call it as a foul.
You didn't say how much though. So you didn't win any money. Sure, you were right, but
Put your money on this. Put your money on this next
coach's
time.
challenge successful.
Antino Jackson between the legs. It moves to the right, moves to the left. The double team comes. Blitz. And there, Roberts wants that matchup all day, every day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Hervé collects the rebound. What a game Hervé is having. 63-58. Now it's time for APR to dig themselves deep. Adonis Fila. Adonis finds Shema Osborne. He can shoot the three. Shema finds Adonis. Adonis for two. Money. Zuzua. Top of the key. Goes into that pick and roll. Finds Bay. Bay. Shakes, back, stabs. They're finding Roberts. Roberts, Antino Jackson off. Can't hit anything. Hervé with the second effort. Craig Randall. Craig Randall. He finds Axel Mpoyo. Axel Mpoyo sets his feet quick. Money! Money! Axel Mpoyo. 63-all. What a game we have on our hands. 2:51 to play. Zuzua for three. Bang! Bang! Money! Money!
What a response by Zuzua.
Axel Mpoyo, easy two. And he asks Anthony Jackson, where is that defense? What is that play by Jackson? Foul on Zuzua. 65-66. What a game we have on our hands. But that's a needless turnover. Antino Jackson, with all his experience as a captain, he just got a brain fog in that moment.
It was the conversation. They were focused on talking to each other and they weren't paying attention to the fact that Tiafale was paying attention to them.
Yes. Tiafale shooting two. Gets the first one. Man, I wouldn't want to be a fan of any of these teams right about now.
Listen, I'm a basketball fan.
Listen.
Let the best team win.
Misses the second, 66-all. Picks his own rebound, but no one to back him up. Zuzua handling that rock. Zuzua in and out. Oh my God. What body control from Zuzua. Look, Shema Osborne is being attacked defensively, and he can't guard a standing pole out there.
Are you looking at the stats I'm looking at? Tigers are in foul trouble. We have 2 minutes in this quarter to go. APR just got their third team foul given to Axel Mpoyo, who now has 2 personal fouls. I guess, the only person who's currently still almost in foul trouble, but actually isn't, even though he's not on the floor, is Mohamedou. And Zuzua has made both his free throws to give Tigers a 2-point lead.
4 points the difference. Brings it to 17 points on this evening for Zuzua. Tiafale Leonard behind the back. Leonard guarded by Bay. Very interesting matchup. And Bay with another steal. Bay with the dunk. You know what?
Yeah.
We've talked about Tiafale Leonard struggling this series. I think I know why.
Why?
I don't think he believes he can he can win his matchup. Foul on Net Roberts. That is his fourth. He has to go to the bench. 135, 70, 66, 4 points the difference. It's RSSB Tigers versus APR Basketball Club.
Tigers immediately making that substitution. They cannot afford for Nate Roberts to foul out. We still have another quarter to go. We have 1 minute and 35 seconds within the third quarter. What a tense game.
Yep.
Oh, actually, Roberts has also been subbed in for Empoyo.
Chefale Leonard, he is struggling at the free throw line. Still talking about Chefale, right? He has previously been a very dominant player in the league. Why is he struggling? You can see it in his eyes. This is a player who, when he knows he has an advantage over others, he shows it to them. He doesn't have an advantage over Bay, and you can see it clearly in his eyes. And you know what they say, scared money don't make no money. Have for 3, can't hit. The crowd was on their feet. Adonis Fila attacks Antino Jackson. Shema Osborne, easy 2. 1 point the difference.
Ozzy's not taking advantage of the fact that Nate Roberts is not on the floor.
Foul on Adonis Fila. The vet trying to play some vet games.
You know what this is making me think of? The rules that have been introduced for the World Cup about how long someone could be down or, on the injuries. If we applied that to basketball, how quickly would these players be getting off the floor?
Oh.
Not necessarily specific about
but you know
Tyler,
what?
though.
Basketball players don't fall on the floor as much as football players.
Fair. I mean, football players roll on the ground. No offense to football players out there.
Shaka Olivier gets himself into trouble. Finds Zuzua. Zuzua facing a double team. Beats the double team. Foul on the floor. And APR Basketball Club are equally in foul trouble. He shoots 2. And he is a solid free throw shooter. Shoots about 90% from the free throw line. No comment to discuss.
So you know what's so fascinating right now?
Yeah, bro.
We're talking about Leonard Chefale Jr., but I think, if you look at Craig Randall and how he's looking.
Comment to discuss. Just
This is what I said. Let's not talk about it. Come on, Zuzua. Second free throw. Doesn't make it.
He misses both. Do you know what they call that, Kristen? His legs are gone.
Well, he better find them again. He has another quarter to go.
He gets retribution. Next one. 2 points the difference. 55 seconds to play. Adonis Fila up against Antino Jackson. Antino Jackson finds Chefale Leonard. Chefale Leonard up against. He is hesitating. He's thinking twice about it. Adonis Fila shakes, bakes, can't make it. Ozzy for 3. Leonard with the rebound of Zuzua. Again, Zuzua losing outside in a contest where you don't normally see him lose out, right? He's tired. He needs some resting time. I think if I'm starting that fourth quarter, I'm starting Zuzua on the bench for the first 2-3 minutes just to give him a breather.
Not only to give him a breather, he is now in foul trouble. He has 4 personal fouls.
Ooh! That is trouble for Tigers Basketball Club.
We were talking about this earlier about how APR really thrives on these very tight games. If Tigers wants to win this, they really need to increase this gap between them. 1 point, assuming he doesn't make the second one, but if he makes it, they'll equalize. That's a very dangerous place for Tigers to be in, especially with Nate not on the floor and Zuzua now in foul trouble as well.
He makes both for the first time in this game. Antino Jackson. They need Antino Jackson to come to the party as well. Yep. Adonis Fila doesn't feel like he has fouled anyone, but that's his 4th. Adonis Fila.
I feel like he's gotten quite a number of fouls.
That sends Bay to the free throw line. Bay with 26 points throughout 3 quarters. This is the Bay of game 1.
Without flying in the paint, by the way.
Makes the first one. Man, when the Tigers get all these funds?
BAL. Plus, maybe they're not all like originally Tigers fans. Like, you know, UGB didn't make it into the playoffs. Kepler didn't make it into the playoffs. But there's a lot of like
White
hardcore-
Tigers and non-APR.
Great question. Let's go do a survey and ask. Or maybe they can tell us in the comments.
70, please tell us in the comments. 71-73. We have 5 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Nore Habimana brings it up the clock, the floor, guarded by Antino Jackson. Nore spins 1. Nore finds Craig Randall. He has had a very quiet first 3 quarters. Randall guarded by Bruno Nyamwasa. Easy man. Tiafale Leonard. Money. 1 point the difference. Zuzua going for 3. Can't hit.
Why would you do that? Sorry. Apologies, everyone. That ball almost hit someone.
1 point the difference as we go into the 4th quarter of this tightly contested game between the defending champions APR Basketball Club and RSSB Tigers. And what a game we have on our hands, Christine.
Yeah, and I mean, in this 4th quarter, they're really both going to need to dig deep. We know that APR has a strong bench. They can come and cover and take, rotate with the team that's currently playing. But what do you think Tigers is going to do? We've had a couple of players who haven't had the best game today, have been, they've showed up in some of the series, but what would you do if you were Tigers?
If I was Tigers or if I was a Tigers fan, I would be worried.
Why?
My two of my most important players are in foul trouble. Because this is a game that could go the extra mile. We could have overtime easily, right? So if I'm them, Shaka Olivier has a size advantage on Shema Osborne. I am attacking the paint, but also Antino Jackson needs to come to the party, right? Antino Jackson has 8 points. He has about 3-4 assists in the game. Only 2 fouls. Antino Jackson needs to come to the party because he has been the weak link, and how APR have been able to neutralize him is they started attacking him. You could clearly tell Nore Harimana had very specific instructions to attack Antino Jackson.
I hear you, but the man on our screen, Bay, he has 3 personal fouls that he can give. He's sitting only on 1 personal foul. He's currently the top scorer across both teams. I think he needs to go hard and be aggressive in this 4th quarter.
He's not doing much also defensively, right? Because he is out on the wings defensively, which reserves his energy to do the offensive work.
I think he's also being careful, right? Like, he got quite a number of fouls very early in game 2.
Yes, and that killed his rhythm.
Exactly.
Nore Habimana gets that screen with Shaka Olivier. Again, he attacks Jackson. As long as he has that matchup against Jackson, he's like, I am going at you. He has very clear instructions from his coach. He is going at Jackson. And they seem to have figured that out for this game.
That foul is given to Zuzua?
No.
How is that foul given to Zuzua? Is that an error on the board, or was that actually given to Zuzua? Wasn't that a matchup of Jackson versus Habimana?
Zuzua has fouled out of this game. It's quite interesting. Zuzua has fouled out of this game.
They can't ask for a replay?
No, they've already used their coaches.
There's only one
Yep.
entire game?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And Zuzua fouls out of the game. Talked about him being in foul trouble early on. Now Tigers have to dig deep. The replay clearly shows, unless he had his hands in the. You know what? I don't blame the refs for calling that foul on Zuzua because he gave them a chance to do it. You have to play smarter as a player at that level, in that moment, knowing that you're on 4 fouls. You play smarter. Antino Jackson directing traffic. Now he has to come to the party. 1 point's the difference. Bay, Bruno, Ishimwe directing traffic. They need more from Ishimwe. Ishimwe for 3, can't hit. Bay for 2, cleans up the board. 9-12 to play in this 4th quarter. Nore Habimana, Nore fights. Tiafale Leonard being guarded by Bay. Craig Randall for 3, can't hit. Osborne out. Side ball, Tigers ball. Tigers will have to dig deep if they are to win this game.
I think the next minute will tell us a lot about how this quarter is going to go now that Zuzua has gone out, whether the Tigers will be able to reset and kind of strategize how they're going to play without Zuzua, but also when they're going to bring in Nate Roberts and really fortify their offense in the paint.
Jackson finds Bay. Bay for 3, can't hit. Shema Osborne collects a rebound. Nori Habimana pushes the pace. Double dribble. Nori has one of those such turnovers every game, and he doesn't believe he makes them. When you talk to him personally, he's like, oh. Zuzua straight to the showers. $74-75. We have a game on our hands. 8:36 to play. We are in the 4th quarter, and you're watching us on Okapi Sports Network. What a game. Ishimwe inbounds. Kick ball. Reset. 14 seconds on the clock. Turnover. Nore Habimana finds Craig Randall. Craig Randall, the double team comes out. Nore Habimana. Nore finds Tiafale Leonard. Tiafale Leonard finds Osborne. Osborne fouled under the basket by Bruno, that's his 4th foul of the game, and it's the 2nd team foul in this 4th quarter.
Tigers gonna have 2 players that foul out.
Tigers are in trouble, Christine. They are in trouble. If you want to put the confident money, it's
confident money.
Confident
that
money
would require me to be supporting one of the teams. Again, let the best team win. At the end of the day, who has the most endurance? Who is going to be smart? Like you said, right? Basketball is a game of plays.
Yep.
Who's going to be smart about how they play?
Right now, momentum looks like it's going APR's way. Bay finds Jackson. Jackson needs to get into his groove. There is 3-man foul on Tiafale Leonard.
Shot clock.
No foul.
The shot clock is off.
Side ball. Shot clock backward. You can see their coaches, Kenny Gasana and Mwinuka. Antino Jackson with the rock. Antino Jackson turns the page. Jackson Turnover. Craig Randall up against Harvey. Craig Randall finds Leonard. Nore Habimana in the corner for three. Can't hit. Ishimwe collects the rebound. Ishimwe finds Bay. Bay, 4 up against 4. Bay, he attacks that paint. Foul on Robbins. APR Basketball Club up 1. Bay shooting 2.
What do you know about Tyler Bay and his performance pre-Tigers? What's his average scoring per game? Because he's on track to score an average like 35 in this 3-6. Ignoring
It's a different
game 2.
league. It's a different league. So
Fair enough.
it comes with different responsibilities. He makes both. Tigers up 1, 7:53 on the clock to play. Nori Habimana directing traffic. Nori guarded by Ishimwe Lars. Craig Randall, he wants that matchup with Lars. Craig Randall, Lars has his hand. Lars with a steal. Lars finds Harvey. Finds Lars Ishimwe. What a defensive play by Lars Ishimwe. Unnecessary turnover by Tiafale Leonard, and he says, my bad. Touches his chest. 79-76. That is the score. 3 points the difference. Zuzua fouled out. Interesting lineup on the court right now for APR Basketball Club. They haven't played this lineup together at all in this series. Harvey, foul on Craig Randall. That should be Randall's third, right?
His first, actually. This is his first personal foul.
Paul Busyman on the bench seems to love it. Harvey is like, bring all these hits. 79-76. That's the score. 3 points. The difference. You're watching us on Okapi Sports Network. It's Tigers versus APR Lions. Who is the king of the jungle? Harvey makes the pass work. 4 points the difference. 7:25. Still a lot of time, basketball-wise, to play. Harvey misses. The ref calls an infringement. Oh, another foul. 13th foul by Tigers. Credit to Herve for that hard work. And Mohamed Diane is coming back on the court. Bay. Finds Rando. Rando in the corner for 3. Money. Craig Rando for 3. 3 points the difference. Shooters shoots. Rando with 13. Bay shooting 3. Bang, can't hit. Shaka Olivier with the rebound. Olivier finds Hervé. Hervé under the basket. Hervé struggles. Hervé, Shaka Olivier can't hit. Axel Poyo collects. Craig Rando. 1 point the difference. Rando got it by Harvey. In and out. Beats him on the first time. Lars Ishimwe tried to take the charge there, but the ref says he had not yet set his feet. Craig Randall shooting 2. 6:32 to play. Coach Mwinuka is feeling every ounce of this pressure.
I mean, it will be hard not to, right?
I hope he has nails by the end of this game. Nerves, Christian. Craig Randall misses the first one. Mamampoyo has been rather quiet. Randall makes the second one. Antino Jackson brings it up the floor, being guarded by Nore Habimana. And you expect that blitz defense to be coming in. Ishimwe, Jackson, they move that goal. Steps back, side step back, can't hit. Rebound. Craig Randall out. He did need to go for that basketball. That's not a smart play by Craig Randall. There was no reason for him to try and get that basketball. There was no pressure.
One thing that's very interesting in moments like this is watching how Coach James reacts. Like, I think he agrees that, Randall didn't need to do that, but he's not on their case either. At the end of the day, they still have 6 minutes in this game.
Ishimwe, all alone in the park, can't hit. Is he done for his 3-pointers for the day? Craig Randall. Ishimwe guards him well. Great defense by Ishimwe. I don't know, Christian. I don't know. Is the pressure getting to the officials as well? I don't know. Rwanda Basketball League, 80 all. 5 minutes, just slightly over 5 minutes. That's 6 minutes to play. Timeout, Tigers Basketball Club.
What a crazy game. What a crazy game. As you said, 5 minutes is a very long time. Tigers is almost in foul trouble. They actually don't have any more to give. The next foul, and they're in foul trouble. APR are currently sitting on 3 team fouls with 2 players who have 4 personal fouls who are both not playing right now. The score is tied. The tension is high. If Tigers wants to win, they definitely need to create a gap. Otherwise, APR might just do what they always do and win by 2 or 3. Arnold,
Yes, Christian.
we've just come out of a timeout. What do you think the coaches said to their teams?
Coach Mwenuka clearly defensively is like, get your hands out of that cookie jar. And Coach James, keep attacking Jackson. Nore Harimana having a good game. 10 points. He's in double digits. APR up by 2. Jackson directing traffic. Jackson deep for 3. Money! Jackson with the steal. Jackson loses his footing. Craig Randall, Nore Harimana all by himself. Money. The battle of the point guards is happening. (84-83). Jackson seems to slip up on the wet floor down there, and it's unfortunate for Tigers Basketball Club.
It is. That was a great steal by Jackson. Great effort, great drive. So unfortunately, in those last moments, that's what cost him.
Jackson, step back, in, out, floater, misses. Roberts, he's back on the court. Roberts versus a triple team. Jackson, Ishimwe, pass, finds Jackson. Jackson splits the Red Sea. Also, he can't hit. Nore Habimana, rebound. And he says, let's calm down, guys. Nore Habimana asking Axel Poyo to move to the left. Poyo not moving. Nore at directing traffic. Goes at Ishimwe. Easy work. Easy layup. Ned Roberts not happy with the defensive duties of his teammates. Lars Ishimwe bringing it up the court. Being guarded by Tiafale Leonard. Not really being guarded. Bay facing that double team. Bay can't hit. 86-83, 3 points the difference. Turnover, unnecessary. Bay. Oh! Not in my house. What to Dikembe? Not in my house. Mohamed Janet tells you. He picks Bay right there. And Tigers Basketball Club are in trouble right about now. 3:53 on the shot clock. Sorry to play. Antino Jackson. Antino. You know he never gives up. Finds Bay. 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 He seems to be sleeping. Versus the double team. Bay. Turnover. The momentum has clearly shifted. 5 points difference, and Mama Axel Boyo is back on the ground. This is a tough one.
Very interesting. We're in the last 4 minutes of the game. Both our big men are back on the floor. We have Roberts and Mohamedou playing. The Tigers is in foul trouble, and they seem to be very conservative. They don't want to give the fouls, but they're giving away the points instead. I don't know if that's going to work out for them. They're currently trailing by 5.
Everything points to Tigers' direction. I mean to APR's direction regarding momentum of this game, Crystal. Fred Grando, he says, I want ISO. Up against Paul Bizimana. He puts him on an island. Shake, bake, off 1 foot, can't hit. Leonard, flex, Axel Poyo, can't hit. Another rebound, Mohamed Jani, Axel Poyo, tries again. Boom! Money! Money! Antino Jackson up against Yapale Leonard. Jackson, the blitz comes. Harvey, look at the basket. Harvey, off his feet, finds Bay. Leonard, who gets that basket? Foul. And that could be a clear path foul. That could be a clear path foul. And the crowd are on their feet.
Maman Poyo's not even actually watching the game. He's directing the choir in the crowd.
Choir master.
He's so comfortable and confident in what their team is doing.
7 points the difference, 2:40 to play. And this is a similar scoreline to the last game at this time of that game. The difference is there's no Zuzua to get you back into it.
Also, Mutawazi hasn't had as much impact in this game.
Hasn't had any minutes. Hasn't had any minutes. How do you have impact with no minutes? You know, looking at these two games, Coach James May is out coaching Monica.
What did we say early in game 2? What's the best offense or what's the best defense?
Offense.
Do you think it's that APR actually just have more shooting options than the Tigers?
They just
and that's what makes them?
Yes, Krista. Yes. Right? Tigers are not deep enough. So the moment the bench doesn't come to play, if you're not getting points from Olivier Chaka, if you're not getting points from Bruno Nyamwasa when they come onto the court, then, because clearly, APR are going to get points from Adonis Villa, they're going to get points from Robbins, they're going to get points from Axel Mpoyo. All these players are coming off the bench. Right? And you
had a really good game today.
What?
Mpoyo's had a really good game today.
Yes. And he has followed the coach's instructions, which were like, okay, Zuzua is out, Netro, but it's not there, attack Jackson. I will do that all day, every day. Seven points the difference. Eight.
1 point was added to Axel Mpoyo. I think they probably gave him a 2 instead of a 3, but he shot a 3.
after review from the referees. Is it a clear pass? The refs haven't called it as a clear pass.
Tigers have called for a timeout, though. Seems like they want to slow down the momentum and regroup.
Isn't that the last time out of the game for them?
No, they have another one. I feel like we're as tense as everyone in this room trying to see, like, how is this game going to end?
Look, if you're not tense such a game, but to be fair, you have some of the old basketball heads walking out right about now, because to them it looks done and dusted. Because the question is, where are Tigers going to get some form of offense? Jackson is not finding his groove. He has had a very quiet 11 points, and he is struggling to create also any form of assist or offense for his team, right? And because they're attacking him on the defensive end, he's losing his legs. So he has much more work to do.
So Paul Bizimana is now on the floor, and I think even though he's had a bit of a slow game, maybe they're hoping that he'll turn things around.
Mohamed Diane, he has been a good free throw shooter, shooting two. What a block he had with that Bay dunk. And that was a momentum swinger. That swung 4 points.
And I'll be very fascinated to see the stats from this game because, again, it's been so close. They've both been going really hard. They've tried to kind of outmaneuver each other, with APR kind of just finding their way a little bit more than Tigers
That
have.
competitor's cast coming back.
That what?
The competitor's cast coming back again.
You're going to have APR fans coming for you.
He makes 1 of 2. Antonio Jackson pushing the pace. 9 points the difference. Jackson, you know he wants that 3. They're not giving it to him. Hervé, Jackson, got it by Nore Habimana. Nore was using his length. They get the switch. Axel Mpoyo. Jackson finds Paul Bizimana. Paul Bizimana for 2. Can't hit. Ball off Mohamed Jani. Tigers ball. .216 to play. Bay. Up against Axel Mpoyo. Bay. Blocked again by Mohamed Jani. Not in my house. Jani collects his second poke. And he's up for alley hoop. Can't hit. Jackson pushes the pace. Jackson finds Paul Bizimana. Jackson for 3. Can't hit. Mohamed Jani finds Nori Habimana. Craig Randall. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to buy those fouls, man. Finds Jihane. And there they get the foul.
That's going to be Hervé Ichisatse's 4th personal foul.
Do you know what has just happened?
What's happened?
The fat lady just sang. He makes these 2 free throws, it's all done. These 2 free throws put it really out of reach for the Tigers.
He's definitely going to make at least 1 or 2. Is it my turn to make the commentators?
Yep, over to you, Christine.
I'm so sorry, APR fans.
Makes the second. 1 out of 2. 10 points the difference. Paul can't hit. Mohamed Jane finds Axel Mpoyo. Axel Mpoyo, he's running down that clock. Nora Bimana says, let's take our time. Let's take our time. Foul on Jackson. Nora Habimana shooting 2. Right about now, 1:12 to go. You have about 3 ball possessions left in the game. Unless there's some form of miracle, but APR should have this in the bag. Not a happy manner. What a game he has had. 17 points. Not a happy manner. Misses one. Jackson pushes the pace. And those extra efforts. Tiafale Leonard. And you can hear the sound of the APR fans out there. And it's another block by APR. Craig Randall up against Hervé. Craig Randall.
What a game this has been.
Look at Mama Axel Poyo, man. She's enjoying this. She's loving it.
She is.
APR should be now 2-1 to the good after this series. And you know what's funny now, Christian? The teams that won game 1 have all lost both games back to back.
But we can't count them off just yet. Both teams have been really tight. I think they need to figure out their endurance strategies. Both Reg and APR have such deep benches that, Tigers and Patriots need to figure out, how do you maintain momentum, especially when you have it going well, right? Not just, you have this short window where you're really going hard. It needs to be consistent throughout the game.
Antino Jackson bringing it up the court. Jackson finds Bay in the corner for 3. Can't hit. Finds the backboard. And clearly, 2 possession game left.
What a fascinating game this has been. Randall's not the top scorer today. It continued to be Teofilo Leonard Jr. He didn't make it.
Metrobots. The difference of having Metrobots go to the bench with those foul trouble has been the story of this game. Nore Habimana. And look, Kristen, so right about now, you ask yourself, what do Tigers do different in the next game? You know what they should be doing different? Play smart.
Play smarter. Because APR played smart.
Yep. It was a very smart, mature performance from APR Basketball Club.
Trying to foul out Antino, actually fouling out Kuzua, trying to foul out Roberts as well.
And that's all she wrote. 96-85. APR Basketball Club win game 3 to go 2-1 up in this best of 5 game series. APR Basketball Club clearly now are in pole position to win their semi-final. Game 4 is on Wednesday at the BK Arena. And if you can't make it to the BK Arena, worry not. We will be here on Okapi Sports Network. Thank you for spending your time with us. Christine, final thoughts on this game?
I'm still in shock, honestly. I'm trying to process what happened. I think, we can see on the stats that APR was dominant from the start and maintained a above 20 scoring across each quarter, while Tigers had a really, really good third quarter. But that wasn't enough, right? Look at the fourth quarter. They got so close, but only scored 10 points, while APR scored 22. And that's what we're talking about, right? Consistency, making sure that across the entire game, not just within specific windows, these teams are performing at a high level.
Yes, Christian, and when you look at those stats, right, the big differential happening in that fourth quarter, they seem to run out of legs. They seem to run out of hands. They were tired because they're not going heavy into their rotation. 22-10, the difference, a difference of 12 points, and it's that margin that they lose by in this game. So Tigers I think need more from their bench going into the next game.
I agree. And not only do they need more from their bench, they need to start stronger.
Yep.
Because you'll notice that both game ones, right? Patriots and Tigers, they led. Like they put both Breg and APR in such an awkward position by creating such a lead very early on. And that's what gave them the ability to come out really strong and maintain that. Yes, even though the other teams might have come back a little bit, that's what helped them. Whereas in both game 2 and game 3, for both semifinals, we've seen that the team that has started dominantly is the one that ends up winning, regardless of how close it comes.
Very close. Cam, you had it from the horse's mouth. Be back here on Okapi Sports Network. Don't forget to follow us across all social media networks. Okapi Sports 9685. Christine, a quick rundown through these stats.
Man, those 3 points. I told you the 3 points were going to make a huge difference. So APR made 46% of their field goals, while Tigers only made 38%. 3 points. Over half of their shots.
Yep.
Getting it.
They shot 57%, almost 60% from the 3-point line. Now, also, again, Tigers being dominant on the boards, as we've seen throughout this series. But then the assist column tells you a lot, right? It's a point guard's game. So between Nore and Antino Jackson, the person able to control that game better is winning this matchup. Free throw percentage, the earlier free throws from players like Paul Bizimana who are not hitting their free throws. That affects your team in the long run.
I mean, but that's still a high free throw percentage for Tigers, but a very low volume, right? While Tigers, like APR, had 33 free throws. That's an insane amount of free throws to have as a team.
33 to 11.
3 times more
Yes.
than Tigers had.
That is a very, and great to note that, and it will be interesting to listen to the coach's comments in the presser straight after here. Stay with us for that presser straight after here. But yeah, 33 free throws, and they shot 28 of those 33. That's about 85% shooting of their free throws compared to Tigers, who are only able to shoot only 6 of their 11 free throws. 5 of their 11 free throws, which goes to about 49%. Interesting statistic there. Tough luck for Tigers Basketball Club. Christian, thank you.
Thanks, Arnold. This has been fun.
Always fun.
Crazy for a Monday, but you know, what are we but not crazy?
Keep it Okapi Sports Network across all social media platforms. Have a good night.
Good night.